if you miss out on gaming coins in 2024, I promise you're going to absolutely regret not looking at some of the altcoins that we're going to talk about today. Because yes, we hold other coins in other sectors, but the gains in gaming are going to melt faces. We've seen what it did in the last bull run. If you ignore this video and if you ignore gaming altcoins in general, you are going to miss out on potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending, of course, how much you have to invest in. And the good thing about gaming coins, guys, is they're actually quite easy to predict. So in this video, I'm going to give you 4 or 5 altcoins that I would start looking at if you haven't got a gaming allocation already. Of course, speculation hats on, they're not going to be as easy as Bitcoin and Ethereum in terms of returns, but of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're not going to make you rich. So let's jump in the video and let's present my case on why these gaming coins are going to blow up in the next bull run. Yo, firstly guys, thank you for coming back to the channel. Firstly, I need to make this very clear. You guys need to understand gaming value, and this only became very, very prominent to me very recently. And what I mean by that is if you look at gaming coins in general, the market cap right now is sitting at 20, and all these projects are all built up across many different projects. Now, in the gaming sector, the good news is value is already being created with the games and with some of the development. I'm going to break that down for you in a second, but just understand when you come into CoinMarketCap and you click gaming, you can get lost. It's very, very sticky in here. As you look at projects, you look at AI coins, you look at Solana ecosystems, it's very sticky. You might even be looking at meme coins, right? The main thing you can do is I would pick a couple, and again, I'm going to present to you a couple. You don't have to invest in them, but understand this. The global gaming market size is going and is valued in 2022, and this is not cryptocurrency, understand this, I'm going to talk about why this is relevant, but this is $245 billion in 2022, and it's projected to reach $682 billion by 2030. This is, of course, CAGR, we spoke about this before, compound annual growth rate of 13.6%. So what this means, in a nutshell, is gaming in general. We all know people are getting excited about GTA 6, etc. Please, quick side note, why bother building a character in GTA 6 when you could do that in the real world? But that's just a side note. Regardless, people are going to be playing games. People are always going to be playing games, just like how Netflix grows, just like how all this entertainment. Entertainment is worth a lot of money. But understand this, because this is gaming in general. When you look at gaming in the blockchain, it's a lot smaller. But this is where you're projected with a lot of opportunities, because yes, it might be smaller, but again, this is why we're interested in these projects and this niche inside cryptocurrency, because it gives us, wait for it, less money to be able to make more money. And we've seen that in the previous bull run, and we're seeing that right now. If you're not in any gaming projects, you just have to look. So again, the market size right now is 4.6 billion at 2022 last year. And this is poised to hit 65.7 billion by the end of 2027. And that's a CAGR of 70%. So it's growing much faster rather than the real world. But again, why this is so good is because this doesn't include the real world. Again, when you look at the real world, etc., these gaming projects inside the cryptocurrency, like if you believe crypto is the future, it is silly to not think that cryptocurrency in blockchain development is not going to start eating up more of the actual gaming space in the real world, in my opinion. So keep going down further in this. Understand this. This was my tweet. So I wrote a tweet about turning 10K to 500K. And really what I was talking about here was gaming, because you're not going to, like I said, do this in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I want you guys to take this seriously. And this is very, very real. Some of you guys are going to take $10,000 to 500K, but some of you guys are going to get absolutely wrecked because you're not going to take profits. I did this in 2020 and 2021. I pretty much did this to a bigger scale of up to $1 million, but I lost it all. So understand. By the way, quick plug, Mr. J. Gordon on Twitter. Do not follow the scams. This is the only real one. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Keep that in mind. Now, again, you flipped 10K into a jaw-dropping 500K, right? So that's a nice return. We're all happy. Again, you're not going to get this on your basic coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum. You're probably not going to get that in coins like ADA anymore. But again, hold all sectors. This is why we dip a little bit of our feet into gaming, so we're not balls to the wall of locked in. Although if it goes super, super well, you make more money, but you have to guarantee returns. It would be silly to waste a bull run. So don't let that rocket crash back down to 50K. Now, yes, you still make a profit of a 5x, but the difference between 50K in the real world to 500K, there's such a difference. 50K, you're still kind of nervous in the real world. Yes, you're good, you make some money. It might be your full-time hourly wage in a year, etc. But you're still going to have to work. You're still going to have to do everything. You can't really do anything. With 500K, you can quit your job. You can figure out what you really want to do, and it can buy you time. Or you maybe want to invest in real estate, etc. There's such a big difference. So it's very important when you do this, if you do this in the bull run, and many of you guys will, do not ride it all the way back down, because crypto is a wild ride. We've heard tales of rock stars turning into roadkill because they got too cocky. This was me, and I'm telling you this. Nobody will tell you this because everybody wants to say, oh yeah, we make all this money. I made all this money, but I rode that high way too long, and I crashed it in 2022. The good news is I DCA'd all the way in, so I'm ready for this next bull run, but you don't have to wait 4 to 5 years for the next bull run. Just get this one right, because greed isn't just a trap. It's a damn pitfall. You think you're invincible? Guess again. Holding on for the extra thrill might just leave you behind. I remember, brother, the thrill of Celsius that was paying me every single week. Everything was fantastic. We were making so much money every single day. Just the wallets, and Trust Wallet, the Trezor Wallet, the Celsius Wallet, it was all compounding. And it was almost like nothing really existed anymore. Like you had this false sense of confidence. And again, once that happens in the next bull run, maybe you're watching this in 2024 and 2025, please take profits if you're up massively. And that's what I'm going to be doing so heavily in this next run. But it's a trap, because it will end. The next bull run is going to be absolutely fantastic. We know that. Wallets are going to be bulging, adrenaline's pumping. I cannot wait for that. And I'm so excited to ride this with you. We're going to be talking about, we're going to be showing the 10K portfolio that I show with you guys. Like everything's going to be great. Some of you guys are going to ditch your 9 to 5 nightmare, because let's be honest, the 9 to 5 sucks. We need most of you guys to get out of that 9 to 5 fast. Right? It's not going to be possible for everybody, because some of you guys are going to F it up, and some of you guys are, maybe you like your 9 to 5, but I'll guarantee a lot of you watching this channel, you want to quit your job, and you can do that. But don't trip over your own ego on the way out, which means you're being cocky, because let's say you went to 10K to 500K. You'll do exactly what I did. I did this to pretty much $1 million, but had a little bit more money to invest in, right? I got the 10X, right? You'll go, well, it's only a 2X. We've already done a 50X. We can just 2X more, and we hit a millionaire status. How amazing is that? But I promise you, that will get you wrecked. I did this. I'm nearly at $1 million, 980K or whatever, collectively, and I was like, okay, we're nearly a millionaire here in cryptocurrency. I crossed $1 million in net worth with all the assets and the e-com stores, etc. But I was like, we can just get another 2 to 3X, 2 to 3 million, pay some taxes, we'll figure out with $1 million net profit. Read it all the way down. It was a disaster. Because here's the real talk. Promise me, and most importantly, promise yourself, when the crash starts pouring in, skim and take profits heavily. You should already be taking profits on the way up, 20%. But take those profits, brother. There is no excuses if you get wrecked, because you're going to hurt your family. You're going to hurt, probably your mom and dad. If everybody's believing you and everybody's following your journey, I see these comments all the time. There are mums and dads of these kids, and even like my mom and dad are probably going to get interested again. Do it for them, because they're probably going to be copying you and asking you for advice. So if you're trying to hold the bag, they're holding the bag with you. Take the profits, get them rich, or get them a decent return, because there's nothing worse. And this happened to me. Turning up at the dinner table and like crypto's just a sour taste in your mouth, and everybody lost their money. You're like, hey, nobody wants to talk anymore. Like, why? That conversation could be great. Jake's the smartest man in the world. He made us a decent return. He didn't have to chase FOMO stuff and didn't get wrecked, because the bull market will end. Take profits. It's not selling out. It's playing it smart. Fortify your gains, but build a darn fortress. Remember, we're here for your future. We're just not here to, chances are, you like me. And cryptocurrency is just a gateway, or it's a vehicle to get you to your next path. I'm not balls to the walls. Yes, I make cryptocurrency content. Like, you'd be silly to not think that this is part of my income, right? I actively tell you I make money from YouTube videos. No shit. But I'm trying to help as many people not make the same mistake that I did in 2021. And you can skip this step by just using cryptocurrency to get whatever. Maybe you want to be a content creator. Maybe you want to do something on the side. Maybe you want to do, I don't know, just retire or something. Maybe you want to just take your family on a holiday. Use the vehicle. Don't get stuck in a vehicle, because it will come crashing down. And the final warning I wrote is cryptocurrency is not for the faint-hearted. Guts, smarts, and a bit of edge. You can ride the chaos, but just remember, profit's your ally. Don't let it become your downfall. And again, that was me and so many of my buddies in the last bull run. In 2024, get ready for a flood of sales. This is why you need to be following me on Twitter, Mr. Jake Gordon. Watch out for the scams, because I'm going to be doing so many sell tweets. I'm about ensuring this crew and this community maximizes this final run. And I'm so excited for you guys. But I just wanted to write that there, because I think it's so important to understand this. You can do this, because remember, we talk about the secret cycles of crypto all the time. You have two altcoiners. And again, I've always argued there's an altcoiner C, and he starts with the 10K and he finishes with like 7K, or maybe worse, he finishes with 4, or maybe he finishes with pretty much nothing, right? This is most of people. Altcoiner Ace turns 10 grand to set for life. Now, this is crazy returns. I'm not telling you guys to do this. Exit here. Somewhere around here, fully out, maybe keep a little bit of 10%, but get fully out here. You've done well. Altcoiner B does fantastic, right? He still does good. But let's aim for more than this on the 20X if you're riding some gaming projects, because you can ride this to 500K. You really, really can. And I wrote this not to give you guys excitement that much. It's just to like, here's what you can do. But the tweet that I wrote on Twitter is, here's what you can do, but you can also wreck it if you're not prepared. So without further ado, I am going to give you my altcoins in the gaming space right now. This could change at current time, but right now, these are the hottest projects I would be looking at. And number one is Illumium. I bought $1,000 Illumium the other day, if that video isn't already out, and there's a reason for this. For me, this is a 20x to all-time high. This is the easiest gains in the gaming space so far. This is like my QNT 10x, but I'm playing this for the 20x on the gaming space. So this is an easy 20x for me. And mark my words, the 1K I put in the portfolio for the small bag, I am easily going to turn that into 20K, and I'll leave some on the sidelines to run it, because there's some great cases with this coin. The circulating supply is so small. It's tiny compared to most coins in the billions, in the tens of millions, in the hundreds of millions, in the trillions, like Shiba and Luna. This coin has got low supply and a high demand. If you remember, you can see on the website visitors, there's now a big spike. Almost 200k extra people have came this month. And that's because they're starting to release their project. They have a lot of money behind marketing. I've talked about Illumium for so long. They have done a paid video on us before. This is not a paid video. I would love Illumium to sponsor me again. I believe they will in the next bull run. But that's not the reason why I'm talking about them, because they were doing a lot of promos, and this is what caused this, without a product. They just had a demo in their game. This is what the game could be, blah, blah, blah. And they went crazy. Like, they literally went, like, this is huge returns. They're going to do this again with an actual game. And you can already see on the website right now, they're starting to have some cool games come out. Their token is super, super useful for the community. Huge backers, 500k almost website visitors. For me, this again is the easiest 20x. I'm not telling you guys to buy this. I can't tell you to buy this. I've bought this the other day for myself. What I would just say is, if you want to look at it, get interested. But the problem is, I'll tell you one problem. The coins pump 2x in a very short amount of time. That's one problem with this right now. So I would do a DCA if you're interested, but this could easily fall back down to $40, $50, and then you would do a lump sum, and then I believe by the next bull run, we'll go right back to all-time high, start taking profits heavily. For me, this is the easiest 20x's. It's one of the most safer projects in terms of gaming, but it's not going to give you 100x's. That's the downfall with these projects, but I think it's good to look at some safe plays, but also in the gaming space where the gains still make sense, but we're going to go down the dumpster coins, if that makes sense. So the next coin is Neo Tokyo. Alex Becker, if you guys know, this dude, Elliott Trades, they do not pay me for this video. I wish they did. But the reason, it's a big one. Alex Becker collectively, if you look on the screen right now, has 1.38 million, and he collectively gets 300k every single video, and he's going to get more than 1 million views in the next bull run. You look at the last bull run, he was getting 1.6 million views a video, 1 million here, right? Here's the ticker, or the kicker. Alex Becker and Elliott Trades are the founders of this coin. Elliott Trades is probably number 2 or number 3 in the cryptocurrency game in terms of content. Their Twitters are 1 million. Elliott Trades is almost at 1 million. So they've collectively got like 4 million worth of reach here. And you can see recently, again, this is why I'll never tell you to buy it, because it's pumped like a 10x in the last not a long amount of time, right? 8 months or so. So it's already up at 10x. That sucks. But I believe this project can still go a long way. Mainly, here's the kicker, because again, look at the website visitors recently. It's up 100k. So 100,000 people have went on this in the last month, and that just shows you the price. But if you believe in Alex Becker and you believe Elliott Trades is going to have a good, career in the influencer game in the next bull run like I do, they're not just going to let this project die because they're heavily invested themselves. I believe this still has a 50x. I know, it's crazy, but you'll be taking profits before that. You would be betting on Alex Becker, for me, and Elliott Trades to keep pumping out content, and this will be the easiest 20x plus of your life. But just remember, it's a bit risky right now because it's pumped up so much. I would wait for retracement. So I own Illumium. I don't currently own Neo Tokyo. I'm interested in this, probably $5 or less. I think Bitcoin's going to dump after January, before the halving, etc. And we'll have that, ETF that won't get approved by January or whatever it said it's going to get approved. I think that'll pass, as it won't get approved. And then we'll have a last final dump, and then we're off to the races. Bitcoin will dump, altcoins will absolutely go crazy. And that's what I'm betting on. But just remember, these guys are huge on Twitter. And that's really what you're betting on. Even their page right now is 153k followers. They're getting so many likes, so many follows. And the herd is not even in this game of this project yet compared to the next bull run. Third project is Galley Games. I still hold over 1.1 million, probably more than that right now. I think I'm going to do another DCA very soon because there's nothing else to buy because everything else is pumped so crazy. All time I read this absolutely fantastically. This was amazing. There's a lot of FUD with Galley Games still with the lawsuit. I'm not even sure what the outcome of that was. But then there was obviously the version 2 coins. Nobody liked it. A lot of influencers got pissed off. For me, I just sat back and I continued to DCA and I just chilled. If it doesn't do that well, I'll be absolutely fine. But I still think this is a great play because website visitors is still up there. It's dipped massively just because of the recent FUD. A lot of people have sold out, which is fine. but they're covering the music, the film, and the gaming industry. Collectively, this is like $1 trillion business, right? Yes, this is in the cryptocurrency gaming space, and yes, they have to do well in the bull run and not have any any bullshit with like people getting sued. But I still think the risk/reward makes sense with it, especially at current prices. If we were like pumping like crazy like most other altcoins and we were maybe at, I don't know, 10, 11, 40 odd cents again, back to its all-time high, it wouldn't make much sense, right? You look at Solana, etc., and QNT starting to pump crazy. Those are not buys right now, but this coin, you could say HBAR, we're not going to talk about HBAR, but those are still cheap compared to most of they haven't done much in terms of, the month or the year. Like, they're barely up, if we're being honest. They're 2 to 3x, and most other projects are 10, if not 20 to 50x. So for me, this would be a cheap DCA, but understand this is super, super risky because there's a lot of FUD in there, and it's not even FUD because they're actually suing each other. Like, the version 2 was a bit of a disaster. Some people are just, cashing out. Fair enough. But you don't make money unless there's some fear and uncertainty and doubt. You make money down here. You make money when it's just going crazy, nobody believes it anymore. Of course, the project has to do well. You don't just invest blindly just to lose money, but you make money when it's just peak fear. You don't make money when Solana's up $200, $300 again, right? The money's already been made. You make money when it was $11, $12, $13, $14, $15, right? That's where you make the money. So that's what I would say, but just be careful of this. I still hold this coin, full transparency. Just to keep you guys aware. If you look at it on TradingView, what I will say is it's had a nice little call from here, and it's been pumping massively. So again, I would probably wait for a retracement, but that's that. The next coin is CeDeFi. Alex Becker again are talking about CeDeFi crazy. I love CeDeFi because it's got a couple of good projects underneath it, because these guys are pretty much where they launch coins in the IDO, the INO, and the ICOs, and then other projects can collectively come in, and what you're betting on is the coin itself, doing well with these projects. Those gets released, the CeDeFi project goes crazy. And again, with all these new projects that have launched recently, you can see the coin's up 54% on the month. In the last year, it's up 3x. You look at TradingView, for example, and it's went crazy. From 50 odd cents, it's up 5x, 6x, whatever. Still a long way off its all-time high, if you look at its all-time. But I believe it can get there easily. This is not as risky as Gala Games, but the gains are going to be less. But I think this is still an easy play. I'm looking to get an entry on this one for full transparency. But again, I can't buy it at a 6x in the last 3 to 4 months. I would love to get an entry on this one. I think it's going to do well. But I might have to miss the boat on this one just because it's so far gone. Unless, like I said, Bitcoin does a retrace. It's a great project for me. Everything makes sense because they're behind some of the biggest projects. I love the project. It's a win-win for me. The last coin is one I'm very new to. I'm seeing this brought up a lot on Twitter. And it's, I don't even know how to say it, Nakamoto Games, Naka, whatever, right? I was starting to do some research, and I see the website of visitors again going absolutely crazy, 80K on the month. And again, the reason I'm showing you this, guys, is because you want to look at website visitors. It means demand is coming, but money is made here. You look at the chart, when website visitors were low, around about here, you look at on the last year, that's when it started to pump. It's up, 20x in the last year, one of the biggest gainers so far. And there's a reason behind that, because again, they are the best marketplace right now for all these games. They're free to earn what they've got coming out. Hot games, again, they're almost like a marketplace for all these games, not a specific game, if that makes sense. And again, these games are massive. Like, Candy Shop, I'm sure you guys I used to play that all the time on an iPad. It was just so addicting. Even though the game was trash, it was just so addicting. So they're starting to get some good games under their umbrella. If you believe that gaming is going to be the best, this would be a project that you look to get into because it rides all the games, if that makes sense. Again, the problem is, like most coins these days, it's up a 20x in 1 year. So that's why, again, I'm not telling you guys to do this, but that's why I invested in coins like Illumium, because it's down massively and it's not really done much except the 2x recently. But again, you have to decide. Overall, crypto gaming is going to be massive. I would allocate maximum 10 to 20% of your portfolio. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm just saying if you are interested in making stupid money, you would have to do something like this because, again, you're not going to make it with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Some of the top 100 coins, you need a lot of money to really move the market, in my opinion. Yes, there still will be 20x's, 50x's, sure. But for these dumpster coins right now, some of them for sure, there's massive gains up there. But again, we'll risk. Be careful. Take care.